What if I told you making a lobster roll with hearts of palm was easier, tastier, and leaves your wallet looking a whole lot less like this? Let's find out how. Into a container, add 122 grams of warm milk, 23 grams of sugar, and then 7 grams of active dry yeast. Give that a whisk until thoroughly combined and all the yeast has been dissolved and allowed to sit for 5 to 10 minutes until lightly foamy. You may also need about a half of a cup of water on the side depending on how dry your dough is, so be sure to keep that on hand. Into a bowl with 496 grams of all-purpose flour, add 12 grams of kosher salt and give it a little bit of a whisk just to combine the ingredients together. Pour your now foamy liquid ingredients into a stand mixer, set on medium-low speed, and slowly add in your dry ingredients and allow it to form a very shaggy dough that should look something like this after about 2 minutes. Add 2 large eggs into the mixer and allow to thoroughly combine, at which point your dough should look something like this. Now slowly add in 56 grams of room temperature butter, allowing it to mix completely into the dough before adding in about half of the water or as much as you need to form a cohesive dough. Once your dough comes together, turn it out onto your work surface and then go ahead and knead it for about 5 minutes before shaping into a ball. Lightly grease a large mixing bowl, add in your dough, and cover to proof for 1 hour in a warm place until roughly doubled in size. After proofing for 1 hour, punch down your dough, give it a few flips for good measure, and divide it in half 3 times. This means you should end up with 8 nearly equally sized chunks of dough. Pull the edges of each chunk into the center and form the dough into a tight ball. Once sufficiently balled, lightly roll these out into logs, then fold over each end before folding the whole thing over lengthwise and sealing the seam against your work surface by pulling the bottom along the board like this. Do that for all 8 chunks before placing on a lightly greased sheet tray about a half of an inch apart. Crack 2 eggs into a bowl and whisk together until completely combined for our egg wash. Brush all of your soon-to-be buns with the wash, being sure to coat the entire surface, and definitely don't forget the little doughy butts. Cover and allow to proof for another hour until doubled in size, and then give them another go over with your egg wash before putting them into a 425° Fahrenheit oven for about 11 minutes, which should get you some beautifully golden brown buns like these. Place these onto a wire rack to cool and then brush them with some melted butter, not forgetting the ends. Trust me, you really want these to be completely covered in butter because, the more butter, the more better. While those are cooling off, we can put together our filling. Now, hearts of palm almost always come canned or in a jar and are usually tender, so there's not really any need to cook them. They look something like this. So go ahead and slice them lengthwise before cutting them into half-inch chunks and adding into a mixing bowl to await the rest of our ingredients. To that bowl, add 1/2 of a cup of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of good Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and 1/2 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, then the juice of an apparently very juicy lemon. Take a stalk of celery and slice down the ridges, then slice it lengthwise and chop into small dice and add it into the bowl with the rest of the ingredients. Then roughly chop a small handful of parsley, a small handful of dill, and 2 tablespoons worth of chives, saving half for garnishing later. Go ahead and give everything a good toss until completely mixed and coated, but before we make our sandwich, we need some garlic butter. Simply crush and peel about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic and roughly mince them before adding into a small sauce pot with 2 tablespoons of butter and cook until fragrant. Now, I know this is a polarizing issue whether to cut from the top or from the side, but I'm a side guy, so that is what I went with. Go ahead and cut open your bun and brush it with as much garlic butter as you'd like. To assemble, place a lettuce leaf to protect our bun from becoming soggy, and then pile on your filling. Usually give this a little sprinkle of smoked paprika and then a dash of salt. This is truffle salt, but regular salt is fine. And then garnish with our chives that we chopped earlier. And there you have it, heart of palm lobster rolls that are vegetarian, tasty, and easy on the wallet. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.